welcome back to the latest episode of The Kit Room. In today's episode, I want to talk with you about the real personal topic of gloves. I say personal because it's incredibly specific to the user on what type of glove is going to be, ideal for you when you go out. I've searched for years and years. I've been looking at different gloves and trying out different ones, and I've never actually found a specific glove or a single glove that will do everything. If you think about getting out of the car to scrambling or hill walking and then getting back to the car and that full journey, there's certain sections of that journey that require different things from a glove. So if you're scrambling, you might need something that's durable, but if you're running, you might need something that's thinner. So there's different requirements depending on the activity and also the way that your hands and you personally deal with the cold, and whether you get cold hands or whether you run quite warm. So for me, I run with a 3 glove strategy, and that would be a walk-in glove. So that's for the walk in. So that'll be a thinner glove, something that I can just pop in my pocket and put on and off as I need. Then I'll have the main sort of glove that I would use, which would be a glove for scrambling or climbing or hill walking. And then I'll have a descending glove, which will be something that's comfortable and warm, because I'm generally not needing my hands too much, apart from using maybe a compass or walking poles. So that's my 3 glove strategy. And now I'll talk through all the different sort of gloves and my top 5 gloves that I use when I'm out in the mountains. Okay, so the first gloves that I use would be something like these. Nice, lightweight, thin, Polartec or fleecy, polyester, whatever you want, thin gloves. And the idea of these gloves is for the walk-in. So get out of the car, pop them on or stick them in your pockets, and it's those sort of gloves that you're just going to be able to take on and off so you can manage your temperature throughout the start of your journey. So that might be the walk into a scramble or a climb, or it might be the first part of a hill walk. And the good thing about these, you can wring them out if they get wet, you can stuff them in your pocket, and they're inexpensive, £10 for a set of these. And I really rate these as a nice thin walking glove. Obviously, if it's going to be colder conditions, you might want something a bit thicker, but generally I find when I've got out the car and I'm still quite warm, these are more than sufficient for the first stage of the journey, and just allow me to put them on, take them off as I need throughout that first part of the journey. Then after that, we go on to the sort of the main bulk of the journey. So that might be when you're going higher up, scrambling, you need to get your hands involved, you might need to, use ropes or whatever. And I've got 2 different gloves that I use, different brands of glove that I use for that part of my journey. So first of all, I've got the Mountaineering Alpine Guides, which are these ones. Really love these gloves. They've got a like an insulation material on the inside, so they've got Primaloft insulation, which keeps your hands warm. Even when they get wet, it still has loft, so it still keeps your hands nice and warm. They've also got a fleecy material on the inside. I don't know whether you can see that. And what I find is it allows your hands to slide into the gloves when you've got wet hands or damp hands or cold hands. And that's a real big plus. You sometimes end up having to fight your hands into the gloves, and these slide on really well. So that's a big plus for me. And also the palms and around the side of the glove there, I'll zoom into that. It's focusing on my face a bit. There you go. The inside part of the glove there is leather, and so it's got leather all around the inside and all around the front. And if you're using ropes or you're belaying people up, or you're short roping, as I often am, you're grabbing hold of a rope and you're sort of taking people up steep ground, these gloves are super durable on the palms. So for handling rope, handling rock, handling climbing kit, they're really durable. So that's where you want the durability to be, and that's where you want the warmth to be. So just a nice, well thought out, well designed glove. These are actually brand new, these ones, just to replace my old ones. But I really like them. Really rate those. And when things are even colder, so I'm really cold, maybe I'm out for a few days and I need a glove that can sort of deal with really cold temperatures, and lots of scrambling and pulling on ropes and that sort of stuff. Then I go with these. These are the Hestra guides. Brilliant gloves, really good. They're full leather, so front and back all over, fully durable, so I can even like fist jam into cracks with these, and they're really good on small holes as well, a bit like the Montaigne gloves. I've got them quite a snug fit, so they work really well when I'm climbing and scrambling and using carabiners. But one big plus of these gloves, apart from the durability and the warmth, is the inner detaches from the outer, so you can pull it out. And if I'm working a couple of days and it's really cold and really wet, it means I can get home on the evening and I can separate these two and they dry within a few hours, which is a massive plus. I mean, these gloves were originally designed to be used in sort of Nordic and alpine terrain. So when it's, you know, you need to make sure that your hands aren't wet and they dry out ready for next use. And I've even managed to dry these out by putting boiling water into a Nalgene bottle. And I was camping out, did a load of mountaineering and then camped out on the night. And I put these on top of a hot Nalgene bottle. And about 2 hours later, I bone dry. So really good for drying quickly and, you know, yeah, just being really durable. So Hestra's really good gloves. And also you can stitch them as well because they're really simple construction. It's just a leather, one piece of leather. You can stitch it as well if it does tear or if you damage the gloves at all. Then, once I've done those, then really so they're my main gloves that I use for hill walking or scrambling or climbing or mountaineering. Then when I get to the top of the mountain, I'm then going to come back down. So for me, I want something that's comfortable, something that's super warm. So I'm looking for warmth, comfort, something like a cozy glove that, you know, you can walk back down in. And generally, you're not using a lot of stuff. You know, your hands aren't that busy on the descent. It's usually walking down. You might have to use the compass or walking poles. So I really like using mitts. Now with the mitts, I've got two different types. I've got these, which are the Montaigne Prism mitts, which are so warm and super lightweight. And then I've got the sealskin waterproof mitts as well. Main difference between the two, the sealskin mitts are really waterproof and you know, pretty bomb proof. So perfect for those really bad weather days when you're going out and it's chucking it down with rain. I use these a lot with groups as well because they're a bigger size, so these are large and I can just slide them over the top of people's other gloves. And yeah, it just basically really warm. Mitts are super warm, so slide them over somebody else's gloves and, you know, you can keep them warm and great for the descent as well. So I really like the mitts. Only downside, big pack size. They don't really squash down to a small size. And these Montaigne Prism mitts, whilst aren't waterproof, are still really warm when they get sopping wet, and they pack into a tiny little pack. So these are about a quarter of the pack size to those. So that's why I, you know, sometimes I use those if I'm going out on personal adventures or to protect myself if I know it's going to be a particular cold day. And then if I'm out with groups and I'm doing hill walking or I need to make sure that my group are, you know, are looked after in my emergency kit, then I'll make sure I've got these sealskin big mitts in as well, just to slide over the top if anything goes wrong. So two different mitts, but two different uses and appropriate sort of places to use them. Durability. Yeah, I suppose the Prism mitts aren't as durable because the palms are made of the same material. It's all Pertex, I believe, with these, and it's Primaloft insulation, but not very durable, so you wouldn't be able to climb or anything in these. These are probably a bit more durable because they've got leather palms on them. So, but I haven't really felt the need for durability on a descending glove unless you're going to be doing some sort of scrambling or something like that. Okay, that's my 5 gloves. Lots of information to take in there about gloves and a few key points. Things like appropriateness. What are we going to use the glove for? What do we need it to do? You know, what we're going to be doing? Climbing, scrambling? Are we going to be using a compass only? Walking poles? Finding something that's warm enough for your hands. You know, a lot of people suffer with cold hands and, you know, those sort of circulatory issues like Raynaud's. So maybe for you, you might need to think about a merino liner for the inside to keep your hand a little bit warmer, and thicker gloves. I know wrist warmers work really well for some people who have circulatory issues and cold hands, so try wrist warmers. Really recommend those. And budget as well plays a massive part into the type of glove that you can afford. But what I would say is, don't just go out and buy the cheapest gloves you can find and hope that they will do the job. If you can, slowly build up the gloves that you need. You know, the mitts, you don't need the mitts straight away. Having the 2 walking gloves and the main gloves for the day is a great place to start. And then using the mitts at a later date when you can afford them is a good addition to have to any system. But finding those gloves is really important, and just being willing to try different things out. You know, ask your friends if you see they've got gloves and they've got warm hands, ask them about their gloves, have a look at them, what they're constructed of, and hopefully that'll help you make a better decision about what gloves you need for your mountain or hill adventures. So I hope you enjoyed today's video about gloves and the complex world of what gloves you need and what's perfect for you. And I hope some of the information that you saw in the video today will help you find the perfect set of gloves that you need for your activities and for what you're doing. If you like the video, give it a like. Follow our YouTube channel, and don't forget, if you want to join us on any of our courses or events, you can visit our Facebook page, The Mountaineering Company, or visit our website, themountaineeringcompany.co.uk, for information about all the courses and events that we run throughout the year.